Coming up live, we've got a live show for you today. We've got some really wonderful guests. We're going to be talking about a place called Sacramento, which is a film festival coming up of films made by Sacramentans about Sacramento. It's an amazing thing. It's been going for many years, and you can come and see all of these premiered films. I think there are 10 a year, right around there, at the Crest Theater coming up. And then we're going to have some actors from the California stage who are coming to perform for us. They're performing an interesting piece. It's called Heaviness of Light. It's a series of kind of interesting, educational, but also entertaining pieces. So stay tuned for LiveWire right after this. Okay, here I am. I'm Ray Tatter, and you are watching LiveWire, which is a really interesting program because it touches on kind of cultural things that happen in Sacramento and brings to light some things you may have not experienced. This is a place for filmmaking. A lot of good films are made here. Some feature films are made here, and also some shorts. And people who have never ever done a film, written a film, put a film together, get to do that here in a program called A Place Called Sacramento, produced by Access Sacramento in large. And with me, whoosh, in the studio here are filmmakers. Aldo Coco, who did a film play called Delta Breeze. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Yes. Okay. And then Talia Caraveo, who's, I can't wait to talk about yours too. And with me is her director-producer. Her name is Dawn Spinella. Oh, yeah. Thanks all for coming.
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
This event where people can see, it's going to happen coming right up, right? It's on October 6th.
October 6th at the Crest.
Yeah, at the Crest Theater. And people can still get tickets, I think.
Well, I should hope so. I mean, it did sell out last year, so I wouldn't wait too long.
That's
but
right.
The tickets just recently went on sale.
Yeah. Young lady, you were walking down the street. This is your idea, your first piece, the first piece of her idea?
The Disappeared, right?
It Disappeared, yeah.
It sure was. It's a story that was important to me about my grandmother and also my own mother. We talk a lot about the war that happened in El Salvador, and we also deal with Alzheimer's, which is something that my mother is suffering from, as well as, you know.
Wow.
So it's a really upbeat
Yeah,
short.
I can see it's got
it's
a lot of
exciting.
humor in it there.
We have a lot of humor in it.
But it's also about what we talked about, the title of it. And I don't know if the camera got the title here. It's called The Disappeared. Those wars in South America and in El Salvador, the government and the people who were fighting each other just disappeared people, made them go away. And that's a theme in your film, right?
It is, and it kind of coincides with also the memories of someone who has Alzheimer's disappearing. And so in El Salvador during the war, in the early 80s, individuals that were lost during the war, if they could not be found at the church, their loved ones would post pictures of their faces, and you would go and you would look, and the priest entitled the board Los Desaparecidos, so the disappeared, and hence the name for our film. Just as Alzheimer's causes you to have your memories disappear from you, and many of the folks in El Salvador were disappeared there as well, and so we kind of bridged the two together.
That's such a wonderful thing, bringing this out of your personal experience and your family's experiencing and making it into a film. It's almost an honor thing, you know, to bring out that story and present it before us, so that we
Thank
can
you.
see the pain and the glory of what you're doing.
Definitely.
Yeah, and you, young lady, you're a film teacher. You teach people how to make films.
Yes, sir, I do, and I help them and teach them how to write them as well. And I taught
That's
the screenwriting class for Access Sacramento back in February, and Thalia was one of my students in the class, and she came to me with this amazing idea and said, "I want to tell the story," and I went, "Wow, that is a big story. I don't know how we're going to tell that in 10 minutes."
Yes, the films are all 10 minutes each,
10
right?
minutes.
Right.
Yes.
Beginning, middle, end, or
Right,
does it
right.
end?
No, it doesn't end. This one's, they're all wonderful. I'm sure they're all going to be wonderful films, but this one clearly holds a very dear spot in my heart because of the topic. And we've got some really neat things planned for it. So
Good. Some future things. It sounds like it is a feature film, actually, to me, where you
it could
you
easily be.
discussed it before the show. And Aldo, your film is 10 minutes long, is right as well?
That's right. 10 minutes is the limit, and we got to 10 minutes exactly.
Okay. Well, let's have a look at their some snaps. I don't know if they're stills or a cut from The Disappeared, and we can talk a little bit more about it.
All right.
Okay. So here it is, The Disappeared, and the writer-producer is Thalia Caraveo.
You lied! She's not there! It's not literal, stupid. I'm gonna go tell Mama! Mama! I didn't do anything! It's okay, Mama.
I get that.
Looks beautiful, huh?
Yeah, it really
It
did.
does. I hope everybody could hear, but I do want to say that Aldo, who does wonderful music, helped us out with music on this. So
Yes, I think he did 5 of the films, right?
Yeah, 5
Wow.
and my film. So
And your film,
6.
so 6 altogether.
Yeah, 6
Good,
movies
good.
with,
All over the
my
place.
music in this.
Good. It's
At least
nice
for
that you could
Sacramento.
use that talent
Yes.
to help the other films.
Yeah.
Good.
of
Well,
course.
thank you very much. So this is an amazing piece. I think it's got a lot going for it, and I wonder how you've put all that power into. Well, that was a very powerful scene there. Of course, we get that, but I'm very interested in seeing the play and screenplay, and we'll come there and have a look at it. I think it's fantastic. So. As you wrote and developed this piece, 10-minute plays are really hard, but when you propose this subject, 2 major subjects, in the play that I can see, and then the relationship of the family and characters, and how each one of the characters has to express themselves within 10 minutes. Did you find that was the hardest thing to do in the writing?
I think it was. I think one of the challenging parts in it is because both topics that we're covering in the film are sensitive topics. And just within the Latin culture, not a lot of Latins realize that when memories fade, that, okay, it's time to get some medical help here. It's time to actually seek and ask and not just think, grandma's getting old. And to really understand the dynamics of, Alzheimer's, how real it is in the Latin culture, and not just that, but post-traumatic stress. Those that immigrants, not just from El Salvador, but from different war-torn countries that come to and immigrate to the United States, and if they've come from countries that have severe war, they're actually battling, especially if they're young and the elderly, post-traumatic stress, and compile that with probably any kind of mental health that they're going through, like Alzheimer's. it just intensifies it. So, you know, thank God I had Dawn, because she heard the idea and she was like, oh my gosh.
Ripping my heart out.
You know,
Sure.
but I mean, through her knowledge and her skill, we able to hold this this whole script. We're able to hone it in and, you know, create a 10-minute and hopefully, you know, take it on to something bigger.
Well, I have to say, it was wonderful of Thalia to share that story because it's very personal. And with politics going on in the country right now, sharing stories about families that, or people who have managed to make this country their home, that's a very tenuous subject. But we didn't, that wasn't what the story was about. I will say this though, one of the nice things about this is we're really multilingual in it. And so it's inclusive of the Spanish culture. And we use subtitles, we have English and Spanish being spoken. It's really
Good.
wonderful.
That's good, good. Okay, well, God, I wish you well on that. That is an amazing journey that you're going through.
Thank you.
So, Aldo, we're going to talk about your piece in just a second, but I'm supposed to show some slides, I guess. So let's have a look at these slides. I'm not sure what they are. I hope they're from The Disappeared. One never knows, you know.
Tell you if they aren't.
I love grapefruits. I love yellow grapefruits. I love pink grapefruits.
I saw a huge flying saucer.
Grapefruits for breakfast, grapefruits for lunch, grapefruits for dinner.
She still blames herself for his accident.
Life isn't always what we expected. And you know, it's also not always what we make of it, but what we take of it during challenging times.
Well, Aldo, that was. Tell me a little bit about the ideas. I mean, I don't know. What did you use?
We use drones.
Drones.
To film part of the movie. And the movie is about the art of listening. We have 3 levels of communications. Basic communication that we can communicate with a stranger, talking about weather or traffic. A second level to talk with friends about event, sports, movies, music. And a third level that is harder to reach is when we share our feelings and our personal thoughts. So this movie is talking about the 3 levels of listening. So the main character is going through these 3 levels.
I see.
She's a psychologist, so her job is to listen patients. But she has struggle listening the people that she loves. So this is a story, but it's a drama, but also have a lot of humor with the patients that she has, and at the end have a message about communication and learn how to listen.
So we'll be able to see Delta Breeze at the place called Sacramento on Sunday the 6th.
That's right. That's right.
That is great.
We will be there.
It starts at 6 p.m. and if you really want to see these 2 wonderful films, you can call that telephone number, I guess, or go on to the website. Yeah, there it is. Go on to the crestsacramento.com. That's pretty easy. And it's called The Disappeared and also Delta Breeze.
Right, he says it so nicely, doesn't he? Say it again.
Delta Breeze.
Ooh,
Well, I name it this way because I cannot say the Z in English, so I have to repeat it so many times that I learn it.
Oh, I see.
I'm learning how to say it.
Well, you know, I'm a first-generation American, and my father had so many tricks on how to pronounce words and not seem, like he was trying to pull something out of you. You know, he's very, very and he did very well. And my mother did as well, you know. So I wish you well. I had a Russian lady here who studied. She's from Russia, and could not. She was her language, English language, is perfect. And I leaned over and I said, you know, it's too perfect. It's too good. How did you do that? She said, I had a good teacher in Moscow. Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you both for coming, all of you for coming. I think it's important for us to take a break now and go on with our next group. But we will see you on October 6th. You're all going to be there, right?
Yeah.
Crest
Absolutely.
Theater.
Sure you are. Okay. At the theater. That's the Crest Theater. And you want to see these films. There are 10 wonderful films you can see. All right.
Thank
you,
you.
Ray.
Thank
you
you
for
so
coming.
much.
All right, well, we'll be back in just a couple of seconds after some important messages, and we're going to meet a theater company that's just about to open a play in beautiful Sacramento.
Every year, tens of thousands of young people experience homelessness. If you or someone you know needs help, 1-800-RUNAWAY can provide support and connect you to the right resources. Together, we can end youth homelessness.
So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. The immune system weakens with age. Ask about a flu vaccine option made specifically for us. Visit ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor about vaccine options for people 65 and older.
There's a quiet battle happening on our streets. Pedestrians are acting indestructible. And drivers act like they own the road. They're both wrong. Be aware, be alert. Pedestrians don't have armor. A message from the California Office of Traffic Safety.
Okay, it's called Heaviness of Light, which is the title of the play, and the scene from is called Plant Talk. I think that's right. We'll find out when we talk to them, but this is a scene from that play, and there's a number of scenes that are strung together in this thematic purpose. And we're going to play at the California Stage Theater Complex in the Wilkerson Theater, coming right up. Let's see, when is it going to play? Well, it'll say on the card when we put it up, I guess. So we're going to take it right now. Here it is, The Heaviness of Light, Plant Talk.
You are tuned into KHIC 98.6 on your radio dial. And now, it's time for Plant Talk with Sheila May.
If your plant's got a problem and they don't look very green, if your plant's got a problem and they got no self-esteem, well, if your plant's unhappy, there's one thing you can do is call Plant Lady. She's the one for you. Call Sheila.
Good morning, my lovelies. So nice on my plant talk. To water you this morning.
I hope she's going to answer the phone. Work.
Always disturbed by that ratchet phone.
Now I get the flavor.
Plant talk, this is Sheila May. How can I help you with your plants today?
plants are dying.
Oh, goodness, what kind of plants are they?
They're green ones.
Is this Ricky Lee Dupree?
Hmm?
Did my boy put you up to this?
Yes, ma'am.
You boys need to get outside and play. I'm at work. Bye now.
All right.
Dang, wretched children already this morning. Already. I know it's a little early to be drinking and all, but you know, this is just gotta calm my little heart down. Oh, another call already. Man. Plant Talk, this is Sheila May. How can I help you with your plants today?
Oh, hi, Sheila May. It's your friend Brenda.
Why, hey there, Brenda. What can I help you with today?
Well, listen, my friend Maria last week gave me this plant for my birthday, and it's looking kind of sickly. What can I do?
Have you been watering that there plant that Maria gave you?
Yes, ma'am, every single day.
My goodness, Sister Brenda, a plant is like a man, and when you've been loving him way too much, soon they just wilt away. You gotta cut back on the love, sister. What? Once or twice a week at most, because that'll make them want to grow more. And when they grow more, they treat you better. They start thinking, what can I do to get her to love me more? And they start feeling better, smelling better, loving better. Now take back control, Brenda, and make that plant need you. Got another call. Bye now.
Oh, bye.
One more down. Goodness sakes. This is such a stressful morning already. Oh, goodness. All right, one more call. Plant Talk, this is Sheila May. How can I help you with your plants today?
Oh, thank God, Sheila May. Thank you for taking my call.
What's your name, sweetie?
Well, Robert, but all my friends call me Bobby.
What can I help you with, Bobby?
Well, Sheila May, my plants just seem to stop growing, and my husband's so mean to me lately. I just don't know what to do. I'm at my wit's end, Sheila May.
Well, Bobby, how long has it been since your plants stopped growing?
Well, let me think for a minute. You know, it all started when my hubby and I got into this big fight. He said I was getting too fat and the house was a wreck.
Brother Bobby, do you love yourself?
What?
Do you love yourself? You know, sometimes we get stuck in a rut and we forget to love ourselves and water ourselves. You gotta start loving yourself again, Bobby. Getting some exercise, eating better, getting out around the house and cleaning up. Your plant will start growing again. Your man will come around.
You're right, Sheila May. I'm gonna start right away. I'm gonna go for a little walk and I'm just gonna start eating better. Thank you so much, Sheila May. Thank you for everything.
You go, Bobby. Have a great day. Bye now. Well, thank you for calling Plant Talk. I'm Sheila May. That's our show for today.
Whoa! That's it? Wowie! Thank you. Thank you, guys. Why don't the actors come out? So, my dear, I think that was a fabulous scene. Chantel,
Yes.
Would you introduce the rest of the cast?
Well, we have Mr. Ricky Lee Dupree over there in the baseball cap, and we have the colorful Bobby.
Bobby.
And we have Brenda.
And colorful Bobby, you also penned this scene and the rest of the play.
Yes, an arduous labor of love.
Good, good. So tell me, let me ask you a question about the writing of this thing. You were sitting in your business one day and thinking like, gosh, I got 20 minutes. Why don't I write a play?
You know, it kind of started in the business. Really, it started as sort of a flash of light. And at the end, a little voice whispered in my head, we encourage you to start a play. Not that I had to finish it, but to start it.
Good, good. You know, that's the hardest part for a lot of writers is to start the play. So, and the idea of the play that pushed you to start it was The Heaviness of Light?
Right, so I had a very busy day at work. I turned everything off. I sat in the darkness. I shut my brain off, and that's when a big burst of light kind of came and sort of unfolded everything to me. But you can only grasp so much.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the play is a little bit from the beginning of time all the way to possible futures.
That's great. And so as we are talking, people will want to come and see this. And when is it going to happen, Chantel?
Well, it's happening the week of October 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, but we have officially sold out on 4th, 5th, and 6th. So we have Sunday the 7th, which is a matinee from 12 to 2 available.
So, and they can get there by calling. Is there a number on the screen? I can't see the screen, but we're going to put up a number. Well, there it is. My gosh, isn't that interesting? The greatness of it. There it is.
And they can just text me to that number telling me how many tickets.
Good. And so, but there's only like 47 seats in that theater, so they better jump now, right?
Better jump now.
Because you sold out.
Already sold out.
Okay, cool. And the other actors, are you actors in town?
No.
You're just friends of the author?
Dear friend.
Oh.
They're really not that important anyway. It's about Chantal and me.
Well, I thought that was a nice, well built up scene and kind of funny, and I like your character.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do too. She's very much so me. Something Jim did with this play when he found out who was going to support him and act this out put this on stage for him. He actually wrote in some scenes specifically for us with our own characters. So she is a lot like me in real life.
Good. And I like the idea of the telephone thing back and
back
forth.
in the 70s.
I don't know how you did that, but I want to learn how you made that phone ring. Well, you know.
iPhone and a Bluetooth pillow over there.
That's good. Do we have a clip? Slides from the show? No, we don't have such a thing. Okay, good. So it is a play, and it's going to be at the Wilkerson Theater at 2509 R Street. It opens this next weekend, right?
No, October.
Oh, October. What's the date?
4th, 5th, and 6th.
4th,
and
5th, and
7th.
6th. Okay,
Mhm.
okay, yeah, I get that.
So
I heard you say it, but for some reason it didn't register there. So, okay, and it's a series of scenes like this around a subject. Is that correct?
What's that? We need to wrap it up?
Oh, we have to wrap it up. Somebody's telling me to do this? No, I don't. I want to go on. Well, we can't. The FCC would come in here in a minute. Well, thank you all very much for coming, and I wish you well with the Heaviness of Light at the Wilkerson Theater on the 4th, 5th, and 6th, and 7th.